Our DNA can be reprogrammed by words and frequencies, according to what researchers have recently found. But this is not new. We knew this since antiquity. There's the old adage saying, music soothes the savage beast. Let's remember what was written in the Old Testament concerning the young King David. David used to play the lyre, and he used to play it for King Saul, who was demon-possessed, and that was the only way King Saul could somehow soothe himself from his maddening fits. So even the ancient Greeks had a type of a treatment to heal people. They believed that a lot of sicknesses had to do with psychosomatic factors, and they had therapeutic centers where they would have fasting, washing daily, confession, listening to music, watching art, and also having performances daily of theater, the ancient Greek theaters. They would watch a tragedy and a comedy. Two theaters, a tragedy and a comedy, usually having to do with the same issues of daily life. So, this is something having to do, research promising results, and giving us the proof that DNA can be reprogrammed by words and frequencies. Bruni Brewen, programmer and therapeutic practices since 1989, shared information, purposes only, and not intended as healing, of course, but esoteric and spiritual teachers have known for ages that our body is programmed by language, words, and thought. And you are what you think, you are what you pray, what you eat. She says, I quote from a summarized article by Barbel, edited, translated, only 10% of our DNA is being used for building proteins. It is this subset of DNA that is of interest to Western researchers and is being categorized. The other 90% are considered junk DNA. Russian researchers, however, convinced that nature was not dumb, joined linguists and genetics in a venture to explore that 90% of so-called junk DNA. Please support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The Russian biophysicist, molecular biologist Pyotr Garjajev showed that living chromosomes function just like a holographic computer using endogenous DNA laser radiation or coherent light. The researchers, say that the living DNA will always react to laser beams that have been modulated by frequencies, including language. This means that they manage, for example, to modulate certain frequency patterns, sound, onto a laser-like ray which influenced DNA frequency and thus the genetic information itself. There's evidence for a whole new type of medicine in which the DNA can be influenced, reprogrammed by words and frequencies without cutting out and replacing single genes. And the information is from a book, Vernettes Intelligence, von Grasna, Fossar, and France, and the ISBN number is there. Now, as a counselor and clinical hypnotherapist, she says, I've known how powerfully we are able to make changes for clients in hypnosis, but until now did not have the ability to point to the reasons why this worked. And the article mentions, and which I agree with, she says, that when a person has traumatic things going on in their life and a frequency to create change is not available to them, this is why I ask all my clients for the history of their background. What if life like as a child for them? What was life like as a child? What other negative things did they have happening during life till now? Some people think that is past and they don't want to deal with it or feel that it is no longer a problem. They might, and they might be right, but they might also be wrong, as these things could still have an influence on their nervous system that won't allow them to make changes. So that is your conscious mind talking, and let's ask the powerhouse of who we are. The subconscious If it agrees, there is no problem. If it does not agree and says there's still feelings and emotions that you need to release, then for long-term results, you should consider it may be in your best interest to work on that to achieve what you may be having difficulties with. And, okay, obviously, it has to do with your spiritual well-being as well. It's basically what Christianity tells us. Forgive and try and forget. I mean, it's very difficult to try and forget, but we have to do that for our own good as well. I'll leave links below for you for this. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.